Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and this California Republican isn't just calling out the other side of the aisle, she is revealing the entire plan behind California's terrible new redistricted maps. Let's dive in.
The new maps that Democrats in your state want to pass include a trigger that they would only go into effect if Texas's redistricted maps go into effect. We're seeing that proceed tonight in Texas, obviously. Do you hold Texas Republicans at all responsible for what you're facing in your state?
Well, that actually, Governor Newsom said that this would only happen if Texas redrew their maps. However, that's not what the bill language they presented said. It says if any state redraws their maps, that this would go into an effect. Now, it's my understanding, I'm not a Texas voter, I'm not a Texas legislator, but they have a court order to redraw those maps. Now, what we're frustrated with here is that we should never overturn democracy and California's constitution because of what other states are doing, which is exactly what we're going to continue to fight against here in California.
Okay, but that's the effect of this. There is a trigger. This isn't happening in a vacuum. There's a contingency. And in this case, it is Texas. So let's just be clear. If it says other states, well, it's Texas. So do you have any criticism for members of your own party in Texas?
So again, in 2008 and 2010, California voters spoke. Republicans, Democrats, independents said, we are going to take map drawing, congressional map drawing, district map drawing out of the hands of politicians, and we're going to give it to the people. We have an independent redistricting commission that has a long, fair, and transparent process. So for us, we want to uphold that because it's the most fair process for drawing lines. It doesn't allow politicians to do this in back rooms.
So then what do you think about what they're doing in Texas?
Take this up. So what I think is, again, here, I encourage every state to take California's lead in adopting their own independent redistricting commission. We took that to the voters. I think we're going to defeat this. Unfortunately, we had this lawsuit that we lost today. We're going to continue to fight this here in the legislature, at the ballot box, and continue to tell other states, do the right thing, uphold democracy, implement your own independent redistricting commissions.
If you can't criticize Republicans in Texas for their approach, which is so different from the one that you're advocating for in California, I mean, how should voters see California Republicans as opposed to a move like this only when it doesn't favor them?
Listen, I was elected, and the 120 legislators that were elected this past November in California to uphold the California Constitution. This isn't a Republican issue. This isn't a Democrat issue. This is an issue of political elitists in California silencing and taking the power away from California voters. What we're doing in California, this legislation, this governor isn't taking away the power of voters in Texas. They're taking away the power of voters in California. We have a right, we have an obligation here in California as California legislators to uphold the California Constitution, to uphold the will of our voters here in California. And I will never back down from that. And I will speak up for Republicans, Democrats, whoever it is, to make sure that they are empowered voters here in California.
Do you see how this has become a national issue, though?
Absolutely. And that's why I come back to, if the rest of the nation should follow California's gold standard. That is, we have a fair, a transparent redistricting model that allows for public comment, that our Constitution says that we should keep cities together, we should keep counties together. And since we passed this fair process, California has seen the immense growth of phenomenal leadership. For the first time in California's history, because of our fair and transparent redistricting process, we have a majority woman-led Senate. We have elected more Latinos, more Hispanics, more Asians, more Black legislators over the past few years because of the work of this commission that was passed by California voters. I'm not letting that be thrown away because of politics as usual. I'm here to defend California's Constitution.
This is a ridiculous line of questioning. It's this weird attempt again that I've been seeing time and time again. That on one hand you're acting nice towards the A-lister Republicans, your senators, your high-profile representatives, and of course a couple of governors. And then once you get someone that isn't in that orbit, you get someone from a state legislature, and all of a sudden you're asking these weird questions. The whole interview was an attempt to get this legislator to say that, yes, I blame Texas. When the reality is, no, you cannot blame California for Texas's actions or vice versa. Okay? California could have done this a while ago, and the whole point of their independent commission to set up a new a system that is as fair as it can possibly be, and let's actually compare the maps. Let's compare the old maps. The old maps. Now, if you don't know California geography, just bear with me. In the north, you have a combination of Redwood National Park, Lassen Volcanic. You've got the edge of the Sierra Nevadas. You've got the height of the Coastal Range, and you've got the end of the beginning of the Cascade Mountains. The new map would take away, would combine the entire Coastal Range from the tip of, wow, from the tip of San Francisco all the way to the northernmost part of the state. This is the most gerrymandered map I have ever seen in my life. Hey, y'all. According to new reports, central banks around the world may be buying twice as much gold as official reports suggest. Yeah, you heard that right. Twice as much. And get this, they're bypassing traditional markets and buying directly from miners in Asia, Africa, and in Latin America. That means no US dollars, just physical gold. This shift isn't just symbolic, it could be strategic. They could be looking to bypass traditional Western markets. So if central banks are scrambling to reduce their dollar exposure and own more physical gold, should you do the same? That's where the award-winning precious metals company Goldco comes in. Right now, you could get a free 2025 gold and silver kit and learn more how gold and silver can protect your savings. Just go to politibralgold.com. Plus, you could get up to 10% back in bonus silver just for starting up. Go to politibralgold.com. That's politibralgold.com. There's a principle that I like talking about, that land votes. Okay? When you need different sorts of dollars in order for your district to function better, if you are a majority logging district, you're going to care more about bills that have to do with federal land grants. This, however, has nothing to do, this new map has taken that entire concept and broken it. Completely broken it. It has taken 9 Republican districts and turned it into 4. With the 4 being the central spine of the Sierra Nevada, the Bakersfield Death Valley Desert area, the middle of the very southern portion of the I am blanking on the name of this area, but it's that whole agricultural strip of very good farmland that runs through the center of the state, and then I think Orange County. The original map has the spine of the Sierra Nevada. It has 2 portions of that Central Valley. It still has that Bakersfield area. It represents San Diego properly, which is already gerrymandered into oblivion. And then it takes into account Orange County and a couple of the other conservative areas. And it properly aligns the northern part of the state and keeps it separate from the coastal part of the state. This new map is a gerrymanderer's nightmare. Or in this case, for the Democrats, a new hope. This is an insane map. And look at this. A couple of districts, one of which runs along the spine of the coast, magically moves up into the mountains, and then includes the northern part of San Francisco on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge. and then it separates the mountain areas, completely alienating the voters of the upper Sierra Nevada, which are very conservative people. I have had the pleasure of driving through this area. Family members have visited this area. This has a huge impact on the entire evangelical community. These maps are hell. This is an evil map. And it's all done out of spite, in order to go around their own democratic constitutional process, all done out of sheer ugly spite. I have got to be very careful about my rhetoric here. Because this is an evil map. This is done entirely to spite Republicans, because guess what? According to the Voting Rights Act, you are supposed to make sure that you are giving minorities a voice. That's quite literally, it's an opaque part of the law, but it's so ironclad that southern states have been doing this, and occasionally they get, there's a lawsuit against southern states. I think it happened against Alabama at a couple of years ago, and they had to change the way that their maps were drawn. But southern states do this do their gerrymandering to benefit Democrats. When Democrats and blue states gerrymander, they do it to spite Republicans. This is a truly evil thing, and I'm glad that Miss Suzette is fighting against this as hard as she can, but there's very little she can do. Again, she is constrained by her own state system, which means that she's got to be careful with her rhetoric. She's got to carry water in different arenas, into different places that most Republicans would never even bother to do. She's got to play a tougher game, and now the Democrats are playing a game of spite, breaking up northern districts of the states, taking away the southern conservative-dominated San Diego areas, and converting it into the weird Democrat nightmare that is gerrymandering at its finest. This is something that CNN should be talking about, but no, they want this. They want this. They want this tit for tat because they're begging for ratings to go back up. But ultimately, what these people don't understand is that the further to the left you go, the more you alienate the rest of America. California needs some help. All right, it needs help at a very deep level. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.